Welcome back to another version of Tech Talk. Today we have our absolutely amazing Trisha Rofi, and she is going to show us something to do with Google Tasks, Google To Do.
Oh my goodness, it's tasks. And what I love is this is a really great companion video to the one that you were just showing us. We've covered Microsoft To Do. This is Google Task. And so what I want you to think about is what tools are your students using on that daily basis? What is their learning environment? So the ones that I'm showing you today, this is meant for that student environment where I happen to be using Google Classroom or Google Docs and my calendar. So again, not that professional use, but that student classroom use. And it's such an easy way for task management and keeping on top of things. So first and foremost, it's free. It's built into all of the tools. And what you're going to notice is this is a tool that you're probably thinking, I couldn't make it through my day if I didn't have my tasks, if I didn't have my to-do list, if my things weren't scheduled for me in my calendar and it was written down. We cannot remember everything off the top of our heads. That's called, here's a big word for you, your transactive memory. And that's that whole idea of the way that you can remember what you need to accomplish. And nowadays, we have digital transactive memories. We have virtual assistants. We have online to-do lists. We have calendars. I don't even know all my children's phone numbers. If I ever lost my phone, I used to remember phone numbers, Nicole.
Oh, neither do I. You know what? I still remember my one from while I was growing up, and my friends' numbers from when I was growing up. But in our digital world, I don't know my son's number off the top of my head.
That's right. And you know what? That does not mean you're struggling, and that does not mean you're dumb. It means that the human brain requires a transactive memory for us to have that recall. And so we need to support our students with that because they're juggling 7 subjects with how many different assessments and tests and projects and assignments. We can't just do that off the top of our heads. And you're very lucky if you can, but even us with our full executive functioning, we can't do it. So we're just going to show you a couple of things that maybe you didn't know. They're very tiny little buttons. So Nicole and I wanted to point out to them today so that you could see the potential of using the Google Tasks. Now, whenever you are inside any of your Google tools, such as Docs or Slides or anything like that, you're going to notice that there's a side panel. It's very tiny on the right-hand side. If it's ever missing and you're like, wait, I don't have a side panel, you are going to have to Scooby-Doo mystery down to the very bottom right-hand corner. You're going to see this tiny little shark tooth arrow that'll say show your side panel.
Can I tell you, I've done that before and I've had to sit there searching for
Yes. It will keep whatever your last selection was. So once you open up that side panel will follow you to all of your other tools. Now you're probably recognizing keep. We've done that in another video before. But what we're actually looking for is one called tasks. It's a little circle with a check mark. When you have those tasks, it's as simple as literally just a to-do list. It's that checked mark itemized thing that we can do. But what's lovely is I can just have this general my tasks category, but I can actually also create customized lists. And so if I wanted to have a project that was just for, say, a rocks and minerals that I was going to do, or maybe I want to make one that's for my agenda because I have that agenda item. Maybe I want to have a visual, whatever that is. So in this particular case, I'm going to do one for sky science because that's what I'm currently working on. And so I can make this list and now I can start to add tasks. And so it's going to let me have the title, but of course I'm going to be able to add some details and some time. So in this particular case, maybe I need to, research phases of the moon. I'm going to put that in there. When I go to my details, this is where I can put the information for the assignment. What is it that I'm trying to do? What am I trying to accomplish? And of course, I can choose to add a date and I can even add a time to this if I wanted to be able to do that because it's going to integrate with my Google Calendar. So again, these services make it so that everything is always at your fingertips. It's not always hidden in one particular app. So now I've got this lovely little list that I can do. I can add
Oh,
Subtasks.
love
So
it.
this is lovely thing. You showed this within the Microsoft to do. We can also do this inside of the Google tasks. And when we can add these subtasks, what's lovely about it is I can break down this project. So let's imagine perhaps I was working on something in my Google Classroom and we were going to do a little bit of some stop motion here. It really can be as simple as I can even take those directions from my teacher. This is the different pieces that I'm using. And when I'm in here and I'm in these lovely little tasks, of course, I can start to simply paste those. So teachers, think about that when you're breaking down your instructions in your Google Classroom and creating these assignments. Have you created a bit of an outline of those tasks? What are they doing? In what order are they doing it? So that the students can better accomplish, but also remember, they can straight up copy and paste. I cannot wait for that side panel to be integrated into Google Classroom. I think I have made that suggestion in the suggestion box 100 times. For now, we're copying and pasting. But notice that it already knew I was trying to do those 3 different things. It broke that down for me.
Was
and
it the
now I've got
numbers?
this here.
Do you think it was
Pardon
the
me?
numbers that helped to organize that? So when they're putting
Even
those
just
instructions?
different sentences works because you can copy it even straight out of, say, like a Google Doc or anything like that. It will remember it. So it is really lovely because now I've got that ability to really break down what it is that I'm doing. I can go ahead and I can delete that if I was done. But I think my favorite thing to do is just say, okay, I've completed a portion. Like I've gotten some things done. I think that's magical. Now remember, for teachers who are trying to do some of that visual supervision, that visual support, note that you can have any of your students at any given time open up that side panel and you can say, let's take a look at what you've gotten done. Let's take a look at what still needs to get done. You could even take it further of to like really break down a child's day of this small chunk is due at this time of this project. Now let's schedule this part of it. And depending on the needs of your students, when you'd like them to do it. So very, very, very handy to be able to do this. Just remember, you can also decide how you want this organized for you. Do you want it sorted by date? So when are things due? That will be the order that your task list is put in, or whatever you want to be able to have that for. Now, what's lovely about this, if I was to go on over to my calendar, which we know our Google Classroom is connected to our Google Calendar. It's that same account, that same integration. And I can see my Phases of the Moon assignment here that's got this, but also that task got put in here. So I'm able to say, okay, I put it in my task, even if I don't have that side panel open, it's following me here to my calendar. I can still kind of, adjust and change that schedule and do what it is that I need to do. But just really, really handy because no matter what that app, with the exception right now of Google Classroom, come on, Google Classroom, where you're looking for it in Google Classroom, obviously, is when you're looking at view your work. And that's where you're going to see all of those, different things in one piece. I do love this upcoming section where I can view all, same thing. It'll give me that order of what I've got going on. But I have to say, it's not as user-friendly as I'd like it to be. So having your students really know, hey, did you check out your calendar? Where is that scheduled in your calendar? Do you have your tasks open? Can you go ahead and can you put those things? So if I want to add another task for stop motion, okay, put that in. I now have this lovely little task in here. And again, I can go ahead, I can have it added to a different list. I can add those subtasks. I can add that date and time, and it's going to be scheduled right here on my calendar. So I love being able to stay organized and keep those to-do lists all in one spot. And so knowing that our students can see that calendar. And remember, even when you're here, I know we just showed tasks, but guess what? Your calendar button is also
Here.
integrated and loaded into here. Your to-do list is here. Your keep is here. It's that one-stop shop for our students inside of all of their materials. And even if I'm in Google Slides, you're going to notice, oh yeah, there's that. You're going to start to notice the side panel because maybe it was hidden before.
That is a really great feature, and that is one of the great pieces about Google is that it is all incorporated and easy to access from whatever, whether you're in Docs or in Slides, Calendar. Now, you're right.
Yeah.
It would be nice if it was in the classroom as well.
Yeah, one more little thing, but we'll see. You never know. Maybe the Google powers that be are listening to us, but give it a try and definitely checking that out with your students, because when they can create that organization, it's such a game changer for independence in the classroom.
Absolutely. Thank you, Trish, for sharing.
You're welcome. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.